and I am here to tell you a story. Specifically, this is the story of how I became a not-so-wicked witch. Because you see, I did something that was very mean and very bad, and I got punished for it, and that's how I learned that maybe being evil doesn't always pay. Sometimes it pays, if they pay you, but for the most part it doesn't pay. So as a somewhat reformed villain, I'm here to tell you all the story of how it happened. But I'd like your help. Will you help me tell the story? Yes, excellent. That was very, very exciting. All right, now, if you would like to come up and help me tell this story, please raise your hand. It'll be closer. All right.
Mark, come here.
Reach into
Just come sit on the grass right here. Sit on the grass.
Pick one of the pieces of paper.
Why is she sitting right behind her?
Here, one of them, the princess around.
Sit up next to her, honey, so you can see good. Sit right up next to her.
And you two in the back. She makes it. So
Do you want to do it there?
feel
Oh,
like
she's
you're
there. She's still here. Oh, wait. I thought she was done. Okay, we're good. Sweetie, you have to talk about.
All right, I need one more person to help me tell this story. Would either of you like to help me tell the story a little bit? All right? This is for you. All right, just hang on to that for a minute. All right, now that we've got that settled, let's begin. Once upon a time, there was a village, and the village was at the edge of a forest called the Forest of Unusual Monsters. Now, the name is pretty obvious, so it is a forest full of unusual monsters. It comes into play in our story later. The story begins in the village with a cat. This is Mittens. Say hi, Mittens.
Hi, Mittens.
Mittens is very cute and very sweet, and she belongs to a little girl named Vasilisa. And every morning she gets a cup of milk from Vasilisa, and when she's done, Vasilisa picks her up very gently, pets her on the head, and puts her in the windowsill of her house. And then Vasilisa goes outside to play so that Mittens can watch her and sit comfortably in a sunbeam. And they were very happy together. Until I came along. There I was, flying my broom high over the forest of unusual monsters, and I reach the edge and I see the village. And I look down the window and I see Mittens. And I say, that is a wonderful cat. Very, very healthy, very cute, mostly black. That's a witch's cat. I should have that cat. And so what did I do? I do what any witch would do. I swoop down, park the broom, step my way over, pick up the cat gently by the scruff of the neck because I know what I'm doing. And then I fly off straight back to my house. That's right, I committed a catnapping. And now Mittens is mine. Vasilisa was right there in the front yard, and she saw everything I did. She couldn't get up in time to stop me. I was up and away before she could do a single thing. But she saw me, and she said, I won't stand for that. My cat Mittens has been kidnapped. I've got to go into the forest and find the witch's house and rescue her. Vasilisa was very smart. The first thing she did was she grabbed a bag and she packed it full of food and sunscreen and all sorts of useful things that you take when you're going on a trip. And then she did something else that was very smart. She told her friends. She got everybody in the village who was her friends, all the little boys and girls who were her friends, and she got them together and she said, my cat Mittens has been catnapped. We've got to go and rescue her. And they said, we'll help you, Vasilisa. Because I can tell you, it's really smart that if you're going to go do something a little dangerous, take a friend. Take as many friends as are willing to come along. So Vasilisa and her friends all marched into the forest, walking. They were a little frightened. They'd never been deep in the forest before because it was the forest of unusual monsters. You never know what you were going to find. But they kept walking and they kept walking. By and by they heard someone crying. And they said, what's that crying sound? It sounds like someone's in trouble. And so they followed the noise, until they came to a clearing surrounded by willow trees. And it's the oddest thing, it was the middle of summer, but it was snowing. And standing at the foot of the biggest willow tree was a snow fairy. She was standing there, bent over, crying very softly. Who has a piece of paper that says snow fairy? Come on up. Hello there. I don't suppose you could help me. You see, I'm in a bit of trouble. I've gotten my wing all bent and I can't fly and I can't reach around to fix it. My arms aren't very strong. Do you think you could stretch out my wings so that I can fly again? Thank you. much better, thank you. Don't worry about hurting me. I know what's good for me. A little pain is quite fine. Oh, they work again. I can fly. Oh, thank you so much. I feel like I need to reward you for your kindness. Here. Have this magic powder. It's something I use in my snow and ice magic, and all you need to do is add water, and I'm sure it will help you out of whatever trouble you're in. You might get in trouble, you never know. This is the forest of unusual monsters. I hear witches live here. And they do. And so the little girl who had helped the snow fairy, she went to Vasilisa because Vasilisa was the one who packed the bag, and she put the vial into Vasilisa's bag where it would be safe. Actually, here's your reward for helping. Thank you very much. And so the children bid farewell to the snow fairy, and they kept walking. And they kept walking, and they kept walking. So by and by, they came to a fountain, and it was a very strange looking fountain. It was all made of copper, and it was dry as a bone. There was nothing in or around it, no water, no nothing. And they stopped to look at it, and then they heard a crashing in the underbrush. Something was rolling towards them, coming towards them. It sounded very loud and very big, and they didn't know what it was, and they were very frightened, and all of a sudden, from the bushes, a giant cookie rolled out. He has a piece of paper that says giant cookie. Come on up. Oh, please, you've got to help me. I'm in a bit of a pickle, you see. I'm a scout in the pastry wars, and there's a battalion of gingerbread men chasing after me, and I can't roll fast enough to get away from them, but I think you can help. Are you by chance a human child? Yes, I'm given to understand that you eat gingerbread men at Christmas time, and they're mortally afraid of you. So maybe if you roar as loudly as you can, they'll hear that a human is here and they'll stop chasing me. Do you think you can do that? All right, give it your best shot and give a big roar. Whew, that was actually really scary. That was a deep roar. All right, and it worked. They heard in that rumble in the distance the sound of many pastried feet, and those feet stopped, and then they ran away, and it got quieter and quieter, and the scent of gingerbread slowly drifted away as the battalion of soldiers disappeared from sight. And the monstrous cookie was very happy and said, "Oh, thank you so much. You've saved my life, and you've helped to protect me. I feel I must reward you for your actions. Here. This is a magic potion. I've been carrying it with me for quite some time. It's made of various things, essence of bluebell, dish soap, very magical things. And if you pour it into that fountain, it will make the fountain come to life again. And I'm sure it will help you if you need it." So Vasilisa's friend put the potion into Vasilisa's bag, and the giant cookie bade them a fond farewell and rolled along his merry way. And so the children continued on, walking further and further into the forest, and it was starting to get darker and darker. The trees were growing close together. Everyone was a little more afraid with each step they took. And then finally, the strangest thing, they came to what it actually looked like a very homey cave. Like someone had put a house inside, and in fact they heard crashing and rumbling inside, and they said, "We wonder who lives here." And lo and behold, out from the mouth of the cave stepped the monster under the bed. Who has the sign that says monster under the bed? Oh, lovely. The monster raised his claws, looked at the children and said, "Hey, how you doing? Doing all right? You're doing great. Look, I kind of need some help with something. I've been having some trouble. You're just the one to help me out here. I'm gonna need a, hang on a second. You just stay right here and keep planting. All right, here you are. I'm making a slime beast. It's something monsters do, but it's really hard to do because I gotta stir and pour at the same time. So if you can help me out with that, that'd be great. All right, take some of this leprechaun blood. In fact, all of it, if you can pour it, put it in this bowl. Yeah, there we go. Shake it, give it a good shake. Yep, there we go. I know, ew, well, it came out of a leprechaun, what are you going to expect? It's going to be a little gross. Alright, beautiful, lovely. Alright, now take some of this dragon spit and pour it on top. Oh, well, I can open it. There you go. Just a dash, just pour it on. A little bit. That's good. Alright. And the children watched as something really kind of gross started to manifest in this bowl. The monster just kept whistling and kept stirring it round. Looking beautiful, I gotta tell you. Looking perfect. All globbed together like that. You sure you never made a slime monster before? I think you're really good at it. Alright. Ew, yeah, ew. That's what they all say. But let me tell you, this thing is actually really smart. It's got a brain hidden in there in that globby stuff. It's really smart, and if it likes you, it's really nice. If it doesn't like you, maybe you should go to a different room. Alright, here we go.
Is that what you want?
You want to touch it?
This one.
I know, right? It actually says it likes you. Well, I guess you made it. It must like you. Maybe it should go with you. Here, get your box.
That's black cherry.
Alright. No, no, you can't take the paper towel with you. Come on.
Bobby!
Well, you and your friends get to keep it, and I guarantee you, this thing likes you guys. It'll help you out if you have trouble. Provided I can get it off my hands. I know you like me too, but you'll like these guys a whole lot. Keep some of it to remember me by. It's like when a dog makes a mess on a carpet, just so you'll always remember it. All right. And the little girl, who was Vasilisa's friend, took the box to Vasilisa's bag. Dear heart.
Here. Put it back to your bag.
I admire your enthusiasm.
You're very self-centered.
And she put it in Vasilisa's bag. And for you.
Were you one of my students?
Took that for your trouble. Beautiful. So they bid the monster under the bed farewell.
You're welcome to here, by all means. I think because they're actually following you here.
Walking in the forest got darker and darker and creepier and creepier and honestly kind of smelly.
That works.
And then by and by, they saw a cottage. And it was really old and moldy and looked like it was about to fall apart.
What's her name?
They said, this must be the witch's cottage. And in fact, there was Mittens, sitting in the window, just like that. The way she used to do at home, except she was sort of patting at it and going... She wanted to go home. So Vasilisa raced up and gave her cat a big hug and said, don't worry, Mittens, we're going to go home right now and that witch won't ever bother you again. And someone else pointed out, but Vasilisa, the witch has a broom. That's how she got away so fast the first time. There's no way we can outrun her. She'll catch us. Vasilisa said, you're right. There's no way we can get away from her. We have to take the broom away from her. We have to make it so they can't use that broom. And then someone said, I have an idea. Why don't we use what the snow fairy gave us? Who has the little card that says, just add water? Someone has a card that says, just add water. Beautiful. Right. This little girl said, I know exactly what to do. And she took the powder, the magic white powder, out of Vasilisa's bag.
When you go to a place where they have battles bigger like this,
They popped the cork and poured it all into a glass vase they saw sitting on the windowsill.
if I ever get rich,
Vasilisa said, well, if we're supposed to just add water, we better add as much water as possible.
I really like
So they found a jug of water and poured it all in.
I don't know what I do sometimes. I take
Watch the water plug in and pour over the magic powder.
I'm that hardcore.
Every last drop. And then they picked up the broom, stuck it handle first into the vase. nothing's happening, Vasilisa said. There's no time. We've got to be off. So they grabbed Mittens and the children raced out of the witch's cottage and into the forest. And they ran, and while this was going on, I came back from my trip to the bank. And what do I see? But no cat! Where's my cat? Those children, they must have taken that cat back. Well, I'll show them. I'll catch up to them right away. It's ice. It's frozen solid. I can't get it out. That's kind of you, but I'm the villain in this story, so we're gonna... I know, it's turned into ice. It's completely frozen. I can't get it out. I'm just gonna have to let it go. I appreciate your enthusiasm.
Sit down, bud.
But the broom is stuck. It's magic ice, and there's nothing we can do. I'm gonna have to chase after them on foot. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And so I carried on like that for a very long period of time, and finally I started to catch up to them. I could hear them in the distance, laughing and cooing like old children do, and probably wiping their noses. Whatever children spend their time doing, and they heard me coming, and they said, well, the witch is coming, what are we gonna do? Mittens will be retaken, and who knows what she'll do to us? But by that time, they had stopped by the copper fountain. And one of Vasilisa's friends said, wait, I remember the gift the giant cookie gave us. We can use this fountain to help. Who has the card that says pour the potion? Vasilisa's friend said, I know what to do. She grabbed the potion out of Vasilisa's bag. She held it still while someone else pried out the cork. And all the while, by the way, this was going on. This was one of those, like, hurry up and do it faster, because I'm crashing through the underbrush and they're all screaming. Lovely fun, but just wait till what happens next. And then she poured every last drop of the potion into the fountain.
Baking soda and vinegar.
Sit down,
And the
dude.
fountain began to pour out and out and out, and it spilled over
Sit
the
down.
sides, and it formed a puddle, and then it formed
Paige,
a pond,
Cole,
and then it
sit
formed
down.
a whole gushing river of this very weird blue stuff. Everyone's really polite about getting back to visits. And by the time I raced up there, the children were running headlong in the other direction, and I couldn't cross. There was a huge foaming blue river completely blocking my path, and I didn't want to get my feet wet. They'd melt. I'd lose my toes. So I stood on the river and got very, very angry and threw a small temper tantrum. I don't like to share that part, but it's true. And then finally, after I'd cooled off, I climbed one of the nearby trees and then stretched out along a branch and managed to grab hold of another branch on the other side and climb my way down. And then I started running again. And I ran and I ran and I ran and I caught up to them again. And by this time they were really afraid. They were almost home, but I was going to catch them. They knew it. And they said, there's only one thing left. We've got to use that last gift we've got. Who has... It is right there. Who has the paper that says, toss me underhand? All right. And the children kept running, but one of them, a very brave one, stayed behind. And she held the box in her hand, the box they'd gotten from the monster under the bed. And when she saw me running up, ready to spring, she shouted, catch, and tossed the box to me. Beautiful. And then she ran off herself, which was very wise of her. You can take this and sit down. Thank you so much. And I caught the box, and I was so surprised I stopped, and I said, oh, what's in here? Ah! And this little bugger jumped out right onto my face. And it peeled down my cheeks and got all over my hands. And I started screaming because I had no idea what was going on. And it just would not let go, and when I tried to wipe it off on a tree, I got stuck to a tree. When I tried to wipe it off to my shoe, it got stuck to my shoe. Needless to say, it took me a good 12 hours to get all of this off. And by that time, I'd had the time to calm down and think about what I'd done. I'd catnapped a cat. I'd chased some children. I'd done some very wicked things. And I decided, I'm not going to do that anymore. I've seen the light. I'm going to turn over a new leaf, more or less, and make sure that no slime beasties ever get their slime on me again. And down, So that was when I decided I was going to be good. Mostly good. Nice, friendly. I was going to be friendlier, and I was going to do less bad things, and most importantly, the next time I saw a cat in the window, a really nice cat, and got an urge to take it home, I was going to go immediately to the nearest animal shelter and get a cat that doesn't already have an owner. Thank you very much. That is the story. The cat is right there. She went home with Vasilisa and was restored to her rightful place in the windowsill, and they all lived happily ever after, and I'm covered in magic slime. Yes, applaud my suffering. Thank you so very, very much for coming to see my show. If you're interested in finding out anything about this story or about the magic that you've just seen practiced, I'll be cleaning up for a little bit, and then I will be around to answer all your questions. All right, thank you so much for coming.